Good evening, friends. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. And today has been the khushi. Yesterday there was a gum. So one thing which is basically bothering investors, करना क्या भाई इस मार्केट में पैसा डाले पैसा निकाले. So let's try to address that, the most nagging issue today in our webinar. I'll make brief presentation, try to convince you with my data points what needs to be done, and as usual we will have a question and answer. With this, first let me start with my favorite slide, disclaimer that this webinar is just to enhance your understanding about the equity market. Please read the offer documents very carefully. Past performance is no indicator of future returns, and investment securities market are subject to market risk. So दिमाग में सवाल है fear or greed. Which side you should be? Should you be more fearful of the events that are lined up, or time to become greedy? Why you need to time to become greedy? Look at what happened to the market in 2025 itself. The small cap is down by 11%. Mid cap down 9%. If I talking to you yesterday, the small cap was down by almost 15%. YTD. And the mid cap was down by near about 11 to 12%. And if you go to my Twitter handle, I mentioned what numbers are there. Even the BSE find it is down by 5%. That's a substantial decline, and that shows the kind of wealth destruction that has taken place. I've been talking to many HNI investors, not our PMS, but where I stay, a lot of people meet me during morning walk. And a lot of people did admit to me that things are not very happy with them. Many of them burn their fingers very badly in FNO. Many did admit that they have taken too much exposure in a mid and small cap, and they have burned their fingers very badly. They don't know what needs to be done. So I thought, and this presentation is a culmination of, or is a result of what I've been talking to people and what sense I'm getting. So I thought, let me address that very upfront with you people, because the question that's bothering other investors may also be bothering you, and if that is the case, let me address them, in a clear-cut manner. So there are events that are over, that are events that are lined up, and hence, should you be greedy or should you be fearful? So let me try to answer that in a most logical manner. You may not agree with my logical manner. Fair enough. Please counter it. I'll be more than happy to answer. In case, if I get convinced with your argument, I'll be happy. In case if we don't agree, we'll agree to disagree. Trump. That was one fear when Trump was about to assume the office of a presidency. What has happened till? Has China been imposed tariff? The answer is no. Has Mexico and Canada, the tariff has been imposed? The answer is no. So the fear of tariff doesn't look like it's going to play out. It can play out in future, we don't know. But right now it's not there. H1B visa for Indian, I think is loud and clear, make it very clear. The people, those who are software, are adding value to the US economy. There is no reason for asking them not to come to the country. One, the citizenship by birth, that is under challenge right now. And I don't know how many people basically track US market. There was what we call signed letter from the Trump office saying that some of the expenses which are there will not be funded, like Medicaid and so on and so forth. That's again been challenged. One thing is coming out very loud and clear from the US economy, is that US market is, or US political, this one is that it is not going to be easy walk what Trump wants, and it will happen in the real life. There will be a lot of resistance of that happening. So let's not try to read too much into that. On the contrary, what he did is a very good thing for India. Why? Drill, baby, drill. If you have happened to listen to his speech when he assumed the office of a presidency, the price of crude has come down, and I'll show you that numbers also in my subsequent slide. So that's point number one. So budget, or the Trump, nothing to worry. Budget, and again I'm making a prediction here. We are just maybe 60-65 hours away from the budget. 24 और 24 28 प्लस और 12 घंटा, समझ लो 12-15 घंटा. The budget is going to be market friendly. Do expect the tax rebate. Do expect the consumption cycle to get revived. Do expect capex to be, in a fast acceleration mode, and do expect this budget is going to lift the market sentiment. So if your fear is that capital gain बढ़ने वाला है, STT बढ़ने वाला है, please throw that fear in a dustbin. I can tell you with lot of confidence, of course, then confidence comes with some amount of a overconfidence also, that market is going to go up post-budget. Yes, for some reason, whatever I've talked about, rebate has not been given, the capital gain tax has been increased, the consumption cycle not enough has been addressed to, or no meaningful capex spending kind of a guideline can impact the market sentiment. But what gives me then confidence? The reason it gives me confidence that I think this government is sensible enough to understand what is there in the ground reality. If they don't understand this ground reality, then it will be a disaster. I must tell you that also. And I don't expect that to happen. That's the reason makes me confident that this budget is likely to be market friendly. So don't expect market to go down post budget. We all know there was a liquidity crisis in the economy. RBI did, it took one step to infuse near about 1.5 lakh crore liquidity into the system. It will happen in a phased manner starting from tomorrow and so forth. This is a precursor to the rate cut. Now, why will the RBI would do the rate cut? I'll explain you that also. Number one, the food inflation is likely to come down, and remember my words. That will help inflation to come down. Crude oil price anyway started coming down. That also give relief to the inflation. The economy today needs support from the monetary policy also. And that's why I believe on 7th Feb, there will be rate cut, which is good for the market. One thing, almost 1.75 lakh crore have been sold by FPI in last 4 months. October, November, December, January. December they were positive, but out of 3 months they were in total aggregate is 1.75 lakh crore in 4 months. On an average, 40,000 crore, maybe more than 40,000 crore. Is this sustainable? The answer is clearly no. Again, what gives me confidence that there will be a net buyers post-budget? Another factor, results बहुत खराब है. Are they really so? And I'll show you the data. What I did, basically, we have a very bad habit of dissecting the data into various slices. Let's see what's there also stored in for us. They are not as bad as what market is basically feeling. क्या होता है when the sentiments are bad? Good news थोड़ा कान पे कम लगता है. You know, if you happen to read my blogs, which I write maybe first week of every month, and I talk about once Teflon effect. What is Teflon effect? When the sentiments are good, no negative news will stick to the market sentiment. And the same way, when the sentiments are bad, some good news also comes. Market try to ignore that, and that's what exactly is happening. And I'll pull you with the numbers. I don't want like to talk, hawa mein. So let's look at one by one. Crude oil price. It's down by 6% from from 16 Jan to 29 Jan. $78 almost to 70. Of course, it went above $80 also, but let's see. Now, that's a very good thing for India. Why? It will also reduce pressure on the rupee also. Because ultimately, हमको rupee dollar में देना पड़ता है ना crude. We import crude. And number one. Number two, it will also help inflation. Number three, it will help RBI to get the comfort level to do the rate cuts. So that's a positive. Let's look at the India Inc. numbers. 11.4% quarter-on-quarter net profit growth. Almost 50% of, in terms of market cap, have declared the numbers. Balance 50% is likely to declare. And Y-on-Y growth of 5.5%. So now, another good thing is that, barring few companies here and there, no one talks about very doom and gloom kind of a scenario for March 2024-25 quarter. What does this mean? It clearly means that we are discounting too much of the negative news. And when you discount something too much, we all know what happens. Am I right? Now someone would argue, maybe few companies may be driving this growth, few sectors may be driving this growth. Let's look at that also. So what we did, first we divided into various sub-buckets. Agriculture, capital goods, consumption, manufacturing, miscellaneous, and the services. Since some industry would be little seasonal, and normally the third quarter also is a festive season element. So it makes a lot of sense to compare Y on Y. Okay. So you look at it, agri, which is again a little 164% growth. Capital goods 20% growth in net profit I'm talking about. The consumption has grown by 3%. It's not negative. So net profit has grown despite the challenges. The only one area which is little concern is a manufacturing down by 10%. Miscellaneous up by 8% and services up by 9%. And that's the reason. And of course, if you look at the services, which accounts for almost 52% of the total market cap, is up by 9%. So the numbers are not as bad as what people are talking about. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Basically, the things are not looking as bad as what people are talking about. And second thing, if you look at it, its growth is not driven by few companies. If you look at the sales, 64% of company reported quarter-on-quarter growth, which accounts for 72% of the market cap. And Y-on-Y growth, 77% of the companies reported, which accounts for 88% of the, that's what that means. More companies reported quarter-on-quarter and Y-on-Y growth, okay, in terms of market cap. Now, if you look at the profits also, 64% of the company in terms of market cap, 53% in terms of number reported quarter-on-quarter growth, while in Y-on-Y 78%. But that's only companies, am I right? Look at the sector-wise also, 77 and 80% of the market cap reported growth in terms of top line, and 65 and 72% in terms of the profits, bottom line. So the number that we are talking about is not a function of few companies driving the growth or few sectors driving the growth. Am I right? Now let's move to the FPI selling. 75,000 crore, aaj tak. Okay. And if you look at total 1.75 lakh crore, and this is the damage they did in last 4 months, sorry. Sensex is down. How much we can attribute only to the FPI selling is that, let's not go. But last 4 months they sold 1.75 lakh crore. Sensex down by 9%, Nifty down during the same period 10%, BSE 500 down by 13%, small and mid cap are in down by almost 14% or more than 14%. I can't recollect where this kind of heavy selling can get sustained going forward. Historical trend does not suggest that. So why should we get too much worried about it? Again, I am saying, जो कुछ उनको selling करना था, almost they are at the fag end. Do not expect another 1.75 lakh crore of sell in next 4 months. Most probably, if I again have to speak to you and talk to you, February, March, April, May. On May end, this 4 months, there would be inflow. Then the outflow that we are talking about 1.75 lakh crore. Okay, so that would also help market to stabilize. But having said that, there is one concern. What is that concern? So what we have done, almost 50% of the market cap company have declared the numbers for December. Balance 50% still not declared the numbers. So what we have done, we look at trailing 12 months. Those who have not declared the December numbers, we have used trailing 12 months ended September 2024. If those who have declared December numbers, we have taken trailing 12 months, December 2024. We look at the market cap. Market cap is as of today for all companies. It's not that we have taken the company, those who have not declared December numbers, December ka market. We have taken the market cap as of today. Had I taken this number, it would have been 400 lakh crore. Today market went up to it's 415.37 lakh crore. Trailing 12 months profit of India Inc. is about 16 lakh crore. So it gives it 26 times the price to earning. What does this tells me? Number one, there is a froth in the market, no doubt about it. And hence, your stock selection has to be of the paramount importance. Not only the stock selection of the paramount importance, you need to be also stock allocation. Because गलत कंपनी में गलत एलोकेशन कर दिया, ज़्यादा एलोकेशन कर लिया, आपका नुकसान भारी हो सकता है. If you remember 2025, our equity outlook which presented in the beginning of this month, challenging year. But you can still make money if you know how to play your cards well. कौन सा सेक्टर में, कौन सा कंपनी में, कौन से वैल्यूएशन पे. I am so sure many will not be able to do that. And that's why अगर आप जो लोग समझ रहे थे कि हम मार्केट में ज़्यादा सियाना बन गए हैं, we now understood the market and we become king of the market. I think that for them it's a wake-up call. Whether it's an F&O side or whether on a cash segment side. पैसा बनाना इतना इजी नहीं होगा 2025 में. Now the challenge comes, क्या करे, पैसा डाले नहीं डाले. My advice would be as follows. 2023 में आपने खुद की समझदारी से, खुद की अक्ल से पैसा बना दिया. 2024 में भी आपने बना दिया आपकी खुद की समझदारी से, खुद की अक्ल से. 2025 में शायद थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है. दो लूज बॉल थे, आपने दोनों में सिक्सर मार ली, चला गया, अच्छा हो गया. 2025 में शायद थोड़ा वो लूज बॉल नहीं आने वाला है. सो व्हाट यू शुड डू, whatever you are managing on your own personally, keep small portion, for that will also keep you little active in the market. The larger portion now should be managed by professionally. वो नहीं करोगे तो तकलीफ है. Second thing, should you increase allocation to the equity market? That's another question. My answer is yes. एक तो हो गया, जो पैसा आप मैनेज करे हो, reduce your personal management, give it to the professional fund manager. दूसरा, should you increase allocation to the equity? Answer is clearly yes, provided आपका 3 साल का होराइजन है. ये जो वरी है, जो ये जो फैक्टर्स है, जो वैल्यूएशन कंसर्न है, that will all be out of the window in next few months or so. So if you have money, please put more money. I have been doing in my personal capacity, and I only recommend those advice which I am willing to take in my personal capacity. One thing which I have done consistently over the last 30 years, I will recommend only those companies which I am comfortable buying in my personal portfolio and which I maintain that. I will give you only those advice which I am going to do on my own, because I am not a person कि मैं आपको advice कुछ अलग करता हूँ और मैं कुछ अलग करता हूँ. I will never do that. So my advice would be please, if you have money, increase allocation to the equity. Don't borrow and put money. But like I met someone in the PMS, and this gentleman is only 40 lakhs. And he came and said, सर मैं 10 लाख बोरो करके आता हूँ ना आपके पास PMS में 50 लाख करने के लिए, बिकॉज मेरा पोर्टफोलियो नहीं चलने वाला, मुझे मालूम है अभी. I said, please don't do that. Never ever borrow money to put money in the equity market. So that's not the advice. But you have visibility that 3 साल तक को पैसा नहीं चाहिए. Use this as an opportunity to put more money because आपको market सस्ता में मिल रहा है. Of course, some companies will keep falling, no doubt about it. But if you are sensible enough to buy good companies, you can make money. That was my promise to you. Deepseek, why reason I am saying because it did create a scare in the US market. Monday, I don't know how many people know that Nasdaq has taken a huge beating, Nvidia took a huge beating. And there is a note, the first time in the history, one company lost the highest ever market cap in a single day because of this 8 alphabets called Deepseek. What it did, it completely transformed the way the business models get disrupted. Now, there is a learning for every one of us. In 2022, there was not a single webinar where I was not asked about the EV story. Go back to our webinars, all available on the YouTube, and go back to what I've stated. In the technology world, there is nothing called first mover advantage. And I want to understand when you do the investment strategy. Deepseek has given a good learnings for all of us. So, we need to be a little receptive to what is happening in other parts of the world and how can that learning we can put in our investment philosophy. So, in the investment world, in the technology world, there is nothing called first mover advantage. Disruption is normal. And remember, disruptors also get disrupted by someone else. Okay, today you don't know who was the first mobile manufacturer in the world. And if you make a guess, then you'll be wrong. You know who started first? The Explorer to search the web, and that company is out of the business. It was not Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, in case if you're thinking of that sort. So that's what happens. So the thing which I was to convey to all of you is that when you invest in a company which is a technology-driven company, disruption is a name of the game. And remember, there is nothing called first mover advantage. Sometimes the management will say, we have a first mover advantage, we have done that. For them, it's a sunk cost. Someone is learning from their mistakes to make the things better. Classical example, telecom. Jio was not there in the picture only. Today, Jio is the market in technology. And that's got this biggest disruptor. Now, what is the learning? One is that when you invest in technology company, remember, no one has a permanent moat. Someone will come out with a better product or better services. वो आपको खा जाएगा. Number 2, AI, because of the Deepseek, adoption of AI will happen much faster. Those people who could not first previously afford to put AI as a part of their businesses, now they'll be able to do that. Why? Because the prices have come out very cheap. You can do that. So adoption of AI will increase much faster, and that will help you to reduce the cost of services in the world. The productivity level will go up, and when the productivity level goes up, economy benefits market does very well. So my request to all of you, Deepseek is not a threat to the market. When I say Deepseek, in the sense, the AI innovation is not threat to the market. In fact, it's beneficial for the market. and hence look at in that phase. I know in next few hours FOMC will announce the decision whether they are going to do rate hike, they are going to rate cut, or maintain the status quo. I must tell you that 99.5% people in the US believe there will not be any rate cut. I can also tell you that 19th March 2025 also probability of rate cut is very, very low. And of course, more data will come and hence will take about 7th May. But probability of next rate cuts in not only in this meeting, but even the next meeting is very low. So that's what is happening there in the US. So I thought many people would ask me, I thought let me preempt that thing. Just to summarize, be greedy, don't be fearful. That's the message number one. Message number two, make volatility as your friend, not your enemy. Number three, reduce your personal managed portfolio. You did well. वो लूज बॉल थे, आपने सिक्सर मार ली, शायद अभी विकेट भी जा सकती है. So do the suggestion number three, the learning number three is that please reduce your personal portfolio. Let professional fund manager manage it for you. 4, do not expect the same kind of return that you made in 2020 and 2024 to get repeated in 2025. And 6, do not borrow money to invest in the equity market. I'll give you one more thing. Again, based on conversation, one gentleman made 1 crore in FNO. He lost that money. In anticipation of recovering that money, he will double up. My request to all of you, I don't know how many people who are attending this webinar are doing FNO. And if you've incurred loss, do not go overboard to recover that loss. You do something stupid. My request would be as follows. It is up to you. It is your money. My job is to give you advice which I believe is good for you. You can do what otherwise you can do well. With this, let's open the floor for question answer. Tirupati Reddy, is there a need to reduce mid and small caps in our portfolio? So sir, I keep saying, don't look at mid and small cap as a segment. The same logic applies to large cap also. Why you own that company? If the story remains strong, why should you get out of mid and small cap? As a basket, it may not do well, but that company may do well, and vice versa. Like the many small and mid cap did not do well even 2024. Despite mid and small cap did extremely well, isn't it? So please go back to those mid and small cap. See, no, okay, ये एक एलोकेशन के हिसाब से आपका मीडियम स्मॉल एंड लार्ज कैप अच्छा है, बट बिकॉज मीडियम स्मॉल कैप में थोड़ी तेजी नहीं दिख रही है, इसके लिए आपको रिड्यूस करना, दैट डोंट थिंक दिस राइट स्ट्रेटेजी. द करेक्ट स्ट्रेटेजी इज दैट why am I owning that company? Even that logic applies to the large cap also. Is this company is going to make money for me or not? Is the reason why I got this company into, is it going to, is it still true or not? If yes, please continue to hold. If no, please move out, irrespective of whether it's a large cap, mid or small cap. Again, I apply the same logic in my portfolio. I'm suggesting the same logic for you also. Ramesh sir is saying, which sector is safest now with 10 to 12% appreciation medium term and without capital erosion both in short and long term? So Ramesh sir, there is nothing, so in equity market there is nothing called safest. Am I right? Had the equity market safest, then there is no risk, am I right? And there is no risk, then there is no risk premium. Okay. So my sense is that, sir, we suggested 3 sectors. the private sector banks, FMCG, capital goods less infra. These three sectors looks reasonably good for rest of 2025. Hence, my request would be, in case if you are looking at returns in a medium term, low double-digit returns, please go ahead and take exposure in some of the companies from this sector. Rao sir is saying, last you clarified the mutual sitting on cash of 1 lakh crore. When do you think they will deploy the money? Time frame, trigger, what favorable condition? Thank you for picking the question. So Rao sir, I don't know whether, I have a suspect that they must have put some money in this fall, because the data is not available now. We will come to know by 10th of next month or so. So mostly they would have done it. Some people might do it post-budget also, because they must be waiting for budget to come in. But my sense is that out of the 2 lakh crore which was sitting on a sideline, at least 1 lakh crore would have been put in. That's what my sense is. Let's wait and watch when the data gets released. My one आधा तो हो गया होगा. That's what my sense is. But of course, we'll again take this question maybe on 10th of Feb or so, and we'll try to discuss this. Xavier and Mohit, hope you well. Just out of curiosity, with bounce back in the mid and small cap today, can we say that it is bottom out and we should be see moving up, or are there any more pressure waiting to come? Thanks for your time and guidance. So both Xavier and Mohit, my sense is that whether there is a price crash or there is a time correction, I think they are going to face little headwinds in rest of 2025. So one day price movement we should not read too much. Some of these mid and small cap do command a very rich valuation which are not justifiable. And I do also sense that some of the numbers of the mid and small cap, as and when you see that numbers coming out, maybe next couple of quarters may not be as robust as some of the analysts have factored in. So there also we could see some slowdown in the earnings. So I don't think we are out of the woods for mid and small cap. One day doesn't define the trend. My advice would be stock specific within the mid and small cap. Apply abundant precautions and increase your diligence of those companies. Sri Hari sir say whether Modi Trump it can bring bull to market or bear further. Sir, I don't know what Modi ji is going to discuss with Trump. I have no idea. One thing I've said, fear or greed. I think this is a time to become greedy. So that answers this, because the things which are, budget is going to be market friendly, FPI selling is almost done, results are not as bad as what people are making out to be. RBI is going to go ahead with the rate cuts, food inflation is going to go down, crude oil prices started going down. What are we talking about? And RBI is putting liquidity into the system. Things are turning positive. So kya taklif hai fir? Why should the market go further down? I don't see so. Don't think so. Atul sir said Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, has predicted that the biggest crash of stock market till now will happen in Feb 2000. Think. What do you think, sir? I don't know, sir. How many predictions he made in the past and how many predictions have come true. Biggest crash of stock market. I wish we could do betting on this. I don't see any reason or a possibility that to happen. Please, Atul sir, my request to you, please again ask this question that on 1st March 2025 to me, and let's see what happened to this. आमिर एक काम करना मेरे भाई, ये सवाल को तू स्टोर कर ले. हम लोग again will put this question again on 1st March 2025 because तब तो Feb चला हो गया होगा. Let's try to understand whether the biggest crash of the market has happened or not. My request to all of you, when we are fearful, we will always read or come across articles or views which basically fits into our philosophy. That happens in bull market also, that happens in bear market also. I remember distinctly one of the great journalists and very good economist also wrote an editorial piece in Times of India. And those days we had an infinity service. This customer sent me the clippings of that, and I don't know this gentleman is there in this webinar also. He will remember that. And he talked about very bearish scenario at that point of time in the equity market. And I said, if you read this article after 6 months, you will laugh that. So my request, sir, I accept what is predicted. He is a great guy. I don't think that's going to happen. But yes, we will wait and watch. We are not very far away from Feb 2025. We are just, so on 1st March, we'll again take up this question and see what happened to the market. I don't expect biggest crashes to happen in the market. As I told you, I am putting more money into the equity market. Of course, my view is not for one day. My view is not for 1 month. When I put money, I invest for long term. I'm very confident that whatever money I'm putting in, it will give me a nice returns on right now because the valuations are very, very attractive. Mohammed Yahya sir says, UBS has published a report where it says there is a structural problem in Indian economy. What is your view on? Sir, I have not read that report. I don't know what structural problem. I'm yet to come across a perfect scenario in the world. India always had a structural problem. आप 1991 में देख लो, 1996 में देख लो, 2000 में देख लो, 2004 में देख लो, 2008 में देख लो, 2015 में देख लो, 2020 में देख लो, 2025 में देख लो. It will always be there, structural problem. What are we trying to say? प्रॉब्लम तो है भाई, बट स्टिल मार्केट ग्रू ना. ऐसा नहीं कि इंडियन मार्केट में पैसा नहीं. तो आपका कहना का उसका यूबीएस का कहना ये था कि 99 में स्ट्रक्चरल प्रॉब्लम नहीं थे, अभी है. वॉज इट नॉट देयर इन 2022 अभी है. वी ऑलवेज हैड अ स्ट्रक्चरल प्रॉब्लम. द ब्यूटी इज दैट आर वी एबल टू मेक मनी फ्रॉम दिस लेवल. एंड इफ यू रिमेंबर मोहम्मद सर, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू अटेंडेड माय वेबिनार, 30 is equal to 5. I again repeat, the wealth we are going to all make from the equity market is absolutely great. You know, everyone is going to make a lot of money from the equity market. And I like this kind of report. Why? Because if everyone is bullish, then there is a fair possibility the market can come down. Like the previous question Atul sir asked about the biggest crash of the time in Feb 2025. You are raising the structural problem. When there are more people who naysayers, they say, "Arey, ye to kharabi," that is the time it gives me more comfort level. When everyone talks about bullishness, ना boss, मुझे तकलीफ होती है. मुझे लगता है that's a time you should be extremely careful. But if people are more fearful, Warren Buffett, again, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. So I'm happy that UBS is coming out with this report. I would be more happy 10 more FPI comes with this kind of report. That gives me comfort level कि यहाँ से कुछ ज़्यादा बिगड़ने वाला नहीं है. Then that means all negatives are there in the price in. Then your risk is little low. Reward could be bountiful. Person, since you mentioned this, let me go to that report of UBS and see what he is saying. Gopal Krishna sir, markets have corrected 13%. Individual stocks have been corrected by more than 25 to 30%. But still markets showing many stocks as a very expensive. How come? It is not updated to the date, or can we expect further more fall in these stocks? Thanks very much. So Gopal Krishna sir, in our system, it's a completely IP driven. It gets adjusted automatically. The stocks which were maybe 13%, which gone up by 25, 30%. But because of our model is still expensive, it is expensive. What can we do, sir? It is get updated. So don't make an assumption it's not been updated. Should we expect more fall? See, we have said time and again, Gopalakrishna sir, one should never look at one dot in isolation with us. The reason why we give you score, because score is a function of all four dots. And we have seen many times, people have questioned me many times in the past, why are you recommending stock of the month as an expensive stock? And I said, the stock is expensive, but it also has a probability of giving you better returns. It will remain, it can justify that expensiveness. And that's why we are recommending as a buy. So there are many stocks in our system which are buy, but yet the valuation would be expensive. So don't get confused. So my request to not only you, Gopalakrishna sir, but everyone, please don't look at one dot in isolation. Please combine all four dots. Our wisdom, our IP suggests it works the best when you apply all four dots in unison, in a bunch, and look at the score, and that's the right matrix. Whether this company is a buy or not buy. That's how we should look at it. Shyam Sundar sir, are you looking at opportunities now? If yes, what are those opportunities? How find beaten down quality stocks? Sir, we always keep looking at opportunities. I don't think there is a day where we will not be looking at the opportunities. Where are those opportunities? I did mention some of the sectors. If we are not very sure, Shyam Sundar sir, we do have a Mojo Stocks. We do have a turnaround. We have a stock of the week, stock of the month. There are various products available, and we have score available. Maybe you can look at those. And how to find beaten down quality stocks. So it's all available on our website. You have a screener available, good quality companies available at a good score. I think that's the best way you can do that. See, sometimes the questions we do have an answers on our website. So if you explore our website, you will get all the answers of your queries. Sir. Sam Sundarji, use screener, use Mojo Stock, because Mojo Stocks are all quality stocks. Please use those. We do have one bank which has come in day before yesterday. Good quality bank. If you want to buy that. Risk reward is much favorable. That's the way you can look at it. It's all available on the site, sir. Sumakant, great webinar input boosting the confidence of investor in this volatile market. Is it prudent to invest in shares by having Mojo score of 80 and more? What's your view on this? So you can definitely do that. I would still prefer, just looking at Mojo score, I would still prefer a Mojo stock. If you ask me, my first preference would be Mojo stock, and second is Mojo score. Why? Because Mojo stock, the stocks which have become Mojo stock are those stocks which has been weighted by our investment committee. And hence probability of that doing much better is very high as compared to the only Mojo score. That's how I would look at it, Umakant sir. Dr. Sarang's stock of the week is not performing at the moment. Isn't it wise to stop, suggest for some time and improve with the IP of it? Till then, subscription of users can be extended. Dr. Sarang sir, everything is a function of market sentiment. Today, some of the good quality companies, without any change in the fundamental, have gone down. So, when you look at point to point, things look a little different. I can tell you one thing with a lot of confidence. Each and every stock of the week is a good quality company curated by our investment committee. And hence, there is no reason why we should stop suggestion. Why? Because क्या होगा, शायद it may not move as much as fast as it should do well. Maybe we may extend the time period because of the market condition. But we are confident that almost everyone, 100% तो किसका भी नहीं होगा, but many of these companies will achieve their targets. That's what we are confident, because they're good quality company. There's one company which has taken a huge beating. I've been informed it's up by 12% today only. So, sir, our IP is robust. Of course, having said that, of course, if we want, we will improve the IP. There's no denying that. But we'll keep rolling out stock of the week after week. In fact, I did present it last Wednesday, the data, am I right, Amir? about the stock of the week and stock of the month. As of last week, the 50% of the stocks within the stock of the week were outperforming the benchmark. In this market, the numbers are very good. I must tell you that, sir. If you want, I can again make this presentation to all of you on the stock of the week. Maybe next Wednesday, I'm not there. I'm traveling actually. So maybe one after that, I can make this actually. Srinivas sir, at a time when the manuscripts, both good and bad, have been hammered by 20 to 51, should we looking at the technical indicator? Does that IP give too much weightage to technicals? To Srinivas sir, we have clarified, not only me, Mohit, Jason, Joyson, everyone has clarified that technicals do have a weightage in our score, but fundamental factors have more weightage as compared to technicals. So I hope that takes care of the latter part of your question. The question is a 20, 40, 50%. Should we look at technical indicator also? I would never look at that way. Okay. I would look at total score of the company based on our 4 dots. If it is good, see, again I'm getting, see, the company which is down by 20-50%, probability is very high कि उसका technical इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा. Am I right? Because जो company गिरा है, तो how can the technical can be bullish or mildly bullish or sideways? Mostly it would be bearish or mildly bearish kind of a stock. Or at the best, it could be sideways kind of a stock. So never ever give that. Look at the total score. Like someone asked me about the values, and I again said used 4 dots, and based on that, what the company is saying. If it's a good company, even though it's hammered by 20-50%, please go ahead and buy. You are not catching falling knife there. You're actually buying company at a good valuation. That's how we should look at it. Good valuation in the sense, good score base. What I mean to say that. Kunal sir, as you mentioned, invest to portfolio managers suggest mutual fund or PMS. I need to invest 3 crores. So how much shall I put in mutual fund? How much in PMS and how much self in equity? Kunal sir, I think a question like this cannot be. I cannot give generalized answer because I don't know your risk appetite, what is your overall net worth, and so on and so forth. What I'll do, I'll take this question with you offline. Just send me this message of Kunal sir. Someone from my office will reach out to you, and we can have a Zoom meeting, and we try to understand first what is your requirement, what is your total net worth, what is your risk appetite, and based on that, we can actually do the more tailor-based rather than basically one size that fits all kind of stuff. I'll come back to you on this, sir. Maybe most will my team, my office will reach out to you to line up an interaction with you. मुझे भेजवा दीजिए please. Dow says DIs have bought almost same amount of FIs. Why this mayhem? It's also a function of what stocks have been sold, what weightage they have, and when the FIs have sold and when DIs have bought. It's a function of that actually. And who made more money, greedy people or fearful people? It's a brilliant question, Rao sir. I must thank you for asking me this question. In the market, only those people make money. वो बोलते हैं छाती है वही पैसा बनाता है मार्केट में. जो आदमी घबरा रहता है ना, कभी पैसा नहीं बनाता. Because he will always look at negative things in life. And he will never invest. He'll keep, अरे ये तो इस पे तो ये प्रॉब्लम है, उस पे तो वो प्रॉब्लम, उसमें तो वो प्रॉब्लम है. So market has always rewarded the brave people, brave investors. देख लो हिस्ट्री स्टॉक मार्केट की, वो हिंदुस्तान की हो या दूसरे किसी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड की हो. Market has always rewarded the brave investors. And I want everyone in this webinar to be a brave investors. And hence, and they've made more money. Was Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was a fearful person? The answer is no. Is the Warren Buffett a fearful person? The answer is no. In fact, he's gone on the record saying if I invest today, if the market is to close down for 10 years, still I'm fine with that. So remember, in the market, you should always be optimistic. Bearish, pessimistic guy will never ever make money. Optimistic is never optimistic. With right stock selection, right hand holding from the professional fund manager, it's all possible. पैसा ऑलवेज जो ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है तो वो बनाता है. पेसिमिस्टिक तो बट पेसिमिस्टिक की बात ही करेगा और एफडी का पैसा लेके बहुत हैप्पी हो जाता है फिर वो. Taha Nancy sir saying, I have selected 6 Mojo stocks and I have made a personal portfolio. Please advise regarding quantity. It is 6 Mojo stock. I decided to keep 6 stocks to get high returns. Shall I increase number of stocks or is it fine as they are Mojo stocks? Sir, my 6 stocks is a too aggressive strategy. I would not be comfortable with that. I don't know your risk profile, but if you're too much aggressive, go with 10 stocks. If you're a moderate profile, maybe go with 12 stocks portfolio. And if you're a little conservative, go with 15 stocks portfolio. That's what my advice would be. But 6 stocks, too aggressive. Risk reward would be, on both the side, would be a little extreme. Could have it. Sir, what is your opinion you on PSU after down of 35%, particular mining sector? So, sir, I will not be able to talk company specific. My advice would be look at the score that is available on the website and take a call. But PSU as a basket, and there was a lot of froth, and that has really come off. Whether it's a mining, whether it's a defense, whether it's a railway, whether it's a PSU banks, I think they've taken a froth. I think one has to be extremely stock specific. And again, I repeat, I don't know why I'm repeating again and again, but please, you need to have, never ever make a reason to buy because the script is down by 35%. Find out why the script is down by 35%. Is it because of fundamental factor? Then yes, फिर तो निकल जाओ, 10% भी नहीं तो निकल जाओ. But if there is no change in the fundamental story, but only because the poor percentage is down to 35%, please go ahead and buy. So I think you need to ask that question. Is the company that you are referring from the PSU pack, which is in the mining sector, is the story in the fundamentalist change? If the answer is no, please go ahead and buy. But never make a case study to buy because it's fallen. I think that's a stupid estimate because the company which has fallen by 35% can further go down. There is no guarantee. It can fall for 50%, it can fall 60% also. So never ever use that as an argument to buy any company. Very nice. Very long question, Chitti sir. Thank you for the webinar. I don't have any doubt on actual markets, but I have doubt on Indian economy. I have this doubt because this is for the last couple of years of what I observed, that Indian judiciary has failed to give verdict on any scams or frauds done by Indian politician, any high influence person, either pro or opposite. As we know that most of them are definitely financial frauds. If this continues, how FI have confidence in Indian economy? And as we see that rupee is depreciating against the dollar, how can we have confidence in Indian markets over a long if judiciary is not giving verdicts on scams? So, I don't know which particular case that you are talking about. If judiciary system was not good right now as per your definition, that was the case even 5 years back and even 10 years back then. Am I right? On the contrary, what it was that 10 years back or 15 years back, it has improved. That's what my understanding about the judiciary system. So, and at that point of time, the FI invested despite having so-called not so great judiciary, and yet we are putting it. So I don't know where basically that, how does it, FPI basically will matter in that sense. That they should not have been invested in the past also, am I right? 2023 में उन्होंने इन्वेस्ट किया था very substantially. Was the judiciary system was great in 2023 and now it's not so in 2025? And hence there is a link between judiciary and FPI inflow. I don't know, sir. Chitti sir, I'll be very honest with you. Yes, there have been verdicts which has not been. Just सवाल रखो मेरे भाई. There have been cases where it has not been. Now, whether that is really work in favor, not favor, because really we need to live with this, because there is nothing called perfect world. We need to live as long as it is not going too much against the complete constitution of this country. Sometimes that, of course, there is a very famous saying that justice delayed is justice denied. But that's been the case with the Indian judiciary for many years. There are so many pending cases and so on and so forth. To link that with the Indian economy and saying that boss सब कुछ खराब है, sir वो पहले भी खराब था, अभी भी खराब है. Let's put it this way. There has been some improvement, no doubt about it. But is it the best what we see in other parts of the world? Answer is no. I agree with you that way. But because of that, we should not invest in the equity market. I wouldn't recommend that. Because there is nothing called perfect world. सही वो सिर्फ किताबों में होता है. Real life में किधर भी नहीं होता है. And that not only applies to India, so it applies to the US also. There are so many people have been pardoned by the president just before this one. There's so many judicial this one where people are questioning why that has been allowed and not allowed kind of stuff. That happened in US also. There are many examples I can give you in US also. वो रहेगा कुछ ना कुछ तो problem रहेगा, because we are emerging economy, we are developing economy. There cannot be perfect world, but that still gives a good lot of opportunity. There is a scope for improvement. If there is a scope of improvement, why people will not come? Are we trying to say that 5 years down the line the judiciary system would be worse than what it is right now? Then if that is what you are saying, then of course I agree with you, don't put it money. But if you are optimistic that yes, from 5 years down the line the judiciary system is better than what it is right now, then please put money. That's how we should look at it. Lakshmi sir is saying, I lost my profit on my portfolio, which was around 45% because of current market situation. I have all stock in my holding for investment, means for long term 3+ years. When I purchased them, they were buy in markets, but now few of them are showing sell and few hold. We know market is not good and we want to hold for long term. Should I book loss or keep holding? Once the market will find they will be back. Higher investment will never have a stop loss. Thanks for your guidance on this situation. Lakshmi sir, I think you are making a very classical mistake, which most of the investors in the country makes. Loss booking करना बहुत difficult होता है. If company was buy, now it is a sale, please get out of that company. Reinvest that amount in a company that is buy. So that means you are in the equity only. Now your point is that if market turns good, they will bounce back. They may bounce back, but not as high as the company which is a buy will bounce back, because you are not moving out of the equity as an assets class. Am I right? You are using that sell proceed, reinvesting in another good quality company. So if I would be in your place, I would get rid of the sell stocks which are there on the side, reinvest that amount in a good buy company in our side. So you remain in the equity only. You are not reducing your exposure to equity. As and when market turn around, your portfolio also turn around and you make money. And that has the possibility of recovering your loss also, which is at 45%. But sir, 45% is a too big number, sir, if you ask me very honestly. Padma, I am long-term player. I have lost nearly 10% model portfolio in the recent past. Okay, that's all normal. I still believe in your famous statement, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Hence, I am not overly bothered about 10% loss. But my question is, what is your suggestion now? Is this the right time to invest, or you feel there will be more correction in the month or so? Please advise. पद्मा जी, 10% तो आप लकी हो. किसी ने सवाल पूछा 45% है. मुझे नहीं, मेरा अंदाज ये है कि किसी का भी 10% से नीचे होगा, कम होगा डाउनफॉल. सो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए आपको. एज यू राइटली सेड, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. Should you put more money? Please put more money. I think it's a good time. Market is giving us a good opportunity to invest. Please do that. Use this fall in the market to put more money rather than staying away from the market. That's what my advice would be. Okay. So that's the advice. I'm just looking at just for the information of all of you. The category average of a small cap mutual fund. In last 1 month, category average, because someone has fallen by 18% also in last 1 month. आपका 10% मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम की बात कर रहा हूँ. I'll not name that mutual fund scheme. The category average is 13.57% in last 1 month. कितना 13.5%. Mid cap is down by 11%. 1 month की बात कर रहा हूँ. कैटेगरी एवरेज तो किससे उसने ज़्यादा भी किया है, किसने उससे कम भी किया है. सो सर आपका तो 10% है तो यू शुड बी वेरी वेरी फाइन. So I assume yes, sir, Padma. I don't know whether it's a male, female. So please pardon it in case if I'm making this one. So fine है, कुछ ज़्यादा टेंशन मत लो. You are absolutely fine. Model portfolio, we will tell you when to, because beauty with model portfolio is that we tell you when to exit, when to rebuy, how much to buy, and everything. We keep giving that. So that's how we should. Perfectly fine. Put more money if you have the money, but please don't borrow money because Sunil Damania is saying market is looking good. Market is looking good in select stocks, not all stocks. But it's giving us good stocks are available at good valuations. And that's exactly what we are doing in a PMS also. So please do that and you'll be fine. You should be fine. Amir tells me, Amir, time हो गया या सवाल खत्म हो गए? Time हो गया. Last 3 सवाल यार. Saju, how come different platforms make completely different advice if you all are advising the same data? For example, out of ET money control, Mojo one says buy, other says hold, and third says sell. How can such be a wide difference in this recommendation? तो साजू सर आज ही किसी कंपनी का मैं देख रहा था, किसी ने कुछ सेल था, कोई FI का, 2 FI एनालिस्ट है, पता नहीं कौन सी, not able to recollect. So someone said sell, someone said buy, and look at the price target. कुछ बहुत ही फर्क था. तो everyone use a different philosophy. I don't know what ET does, what money control does. I know what Mojo does. आपको जो comfort लगता है उसको follow कीजिए, but consistently follow कीजिए. That's what my advice would be. Because different people, platform use different way to analyze the data. And due to that, the different recommendation comes out. Same way आप फंडामेंटल एनालिस्ट भी देख लो, कोई उसी कंपनी को बाय भी बोलता है, दूसरा सेट ऑफ फंड हाउस को सेल भी बोलता है. एंड दैट्स हाउ द ब्यूटी ऑफ द मार्केट ना सर. आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा ब्लॉक डील, जहाँ पे वन फंड हाउस इज गेटिंग आउट एंड अदर फंड हाउस इज गेटिंग इन. Why would this fund house is getting out? Because they believe the script may not go up from that level. And the guy who is getting another fund house who is buying believes that his price से भी he can make money. That's why he's buying that company. Block deal में, am I right? तो सर ये तो रहेगा. In the past it was there, even in the future it will remain. So there will be a difference. It happens with platform like Markets Mojo, platform like Money Control, platform like ET Money, and so on and so forth. And that happens with fundamental analysis, and that happens with technical analysis also. So it's a part and parcel of life. Otherwise, market would not be there. If everyone is buyer, there is no market. To form a market, you need buyer and seller. Then only the market can happen. Am I right? Then only the price discovery can happen. It's very normal, Saju sir. I don't know why you are surprised. Sivanand says, since Ukraine war, large quantities of energy is from Russia and not bought in dollar, whereas we are exporting refined oil to Europe in dollar. We already have preempted our risk benefiting our economy. What is your take, sir? To be very honest with you, I don't have much of an handle on this, to be honest with you. How much energy we imported, how much we paid in rupee or ruble to Russia when we refine, how much we refine, and is there... So are we a surplus in terms of refined oil to crude oil? I doubt. That's not the case, sir. So we refine, oil that we import bill is much higher than the export of refined oil that we do to outside India. So there is a difference in terms of quantum. I don't know whether that's a benefiting. What basically benefits is that crude oil prices decline. And of course, India has said that if the crude is available cheaper from Russia, we are open to buy it. But is this a big thing which we should be celebrating? I'm not very sure, Sivanand sir. Last question, I think it's the second question, am I right? Yes. Okay. Rinku sir, since your last week webinar till today, market volatility was very high. I wait for your tweets or for motivation. One question is regarding China economy. Is this the right time to invest in China? I think we need to wait and watch because the latest data which coming in from the China has not been very upbeat. I think we need to really get the confidence that Chinese economy is back on this one. We need to wait and watch. And what Trump does with the tariff and so on and so forth, you see a lot of things have happened with China because a lot of people wanted to preempt the tariff coming in, and they basically imported goods from China. So that really helped Chinese economy also. Now that inventory is still with the manufacturer or the retailer, and hence that future demand is going to little go slow down. If that happens, it can impact the Chinese production and in turn the economy. So wait and watch. I don't think we need to really get into Chinese economy, Chinese stocks at this point of time. So that's what my advice would be, Rinku sir. With this, I know there will be more questions. Unfortunately, due to paucity of time, we will not be able to take it up. Maybe next time come and please ask and we will try to acquire that. I must tell you, there is no webinar for the PMS investors tomorrow because I'll be spending some more time to understand about the budget, because again we are doing a very exclusive webinar on 1st Feb at 7 p.m. Please come and do join us because we are going to give you the major takeaways of the budget analysis. Next week again I'm traveling, so there will not be any webinar for our PMS customers. So what monthly outlook or monthly presentation that we do, we'll do it 1 week after that. And I think most probably I'll try to come in front of you Tuesday if possible. Otherwise, I'll come then see you in the post. Of course, Saturday I'm there. Then I'll come maybe the next week after that. Till such time, good night, take care. See you everyone on Saturday, 1st Feb, to understand what are the key takeaways from the budget. But please remind me if the budget is not market friendly, because I made a statement that budget will be market friendly. Good night, take care.